everybody. Welcome back to the Adoption Squad, and thanks for listening. I am one of your hosts. I'm Mary.
And I'm Annie. And we are the Adoption Squad.
We are the Adoption Squad. I know we try to do that together. It's usually a disaster.
It never works.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So let's just give up. Okay. Or try for fun another day. But
another day.
Yeah. We were chatting for quite a while prior to recording, and we're just a little bit
stressed.
Yeah. Or not. I don't know.
Yeah.
Our country has been going through the ringer for the last, a long time. But we finally got some sort of a resolution. As of yesterday, we're recording this on a Sunday, but yesterday it was announced that we have a new president and
president-elect.
President-elect. Thank you. And, it's kind of nice to just have it be decided.
Except that it's going to be challenged. And so that's the anxiety that still hangs on.
Exactly. So we're really not. But at the same time, once there was a decision, I think a lot of people just went.
Right. Right. And can I just say this?
Yes.
I know so many people feel strongly one way or the other. I am not a huge fan of Saturday Night Live's deep dive into some, juvenile humor. But Dave Chappelle's introduction this weekend was, by the time he got to the end, it was a very long introduction. He expressed how I felt is we just all need to understand each other. End of story. We all need to try to understand each other. And that's exactly how I feel.
Yeah.
So,
I think that's an important point right now, that we really do need to understand each other, and we have got to open our ears, which is so important, and maybe not talk as much and just, except for us.
I'm like, that's kind of ironic since we're trying to do a podcast where all we do is talk. But we also listen. We
do. And honestly, I want to just briefly say how beautiful your mini-sode was that was released last week. That would have been episode 8, where you read those letters from your biological mother.
Right. Yeah. It was fun to go. Well, fun isn't the right word. It was moving to go through those things again. And then today to find here's yet another file of letters that I didn't know existed, that I opened it and started reading them. Like, why did I just see those right now? At any rate, I like hearing everyone's stories, not just my own. So we've had Angelina, and we had a mini episode released this week that I found very moving, that just the amount of care that went into retelling his story, and remind me of his name again.
Jim Serrano.
I listened to that today, and my heart went out to him. He really seems like a genuine person who was just trying to figure out his way in the world and really worked hard at finding himself. And I applaud that. So.
And in case anybody missed it at the end of my podcast release that I read Jim's letter, there is a YouTube video of a podcast called Hassle of Hair.
Hassle of Hair. I can't wait to figure Passel. P-A?
No. Hassle.
Okay.
Hassle.
Hassle
hair.
of having hair. Okay.
Which I go through every day because my hair will never cooperate. And I don't know if that was the intention of the title, But
I can't wait to see it.
I know. Hassle of Hair
Hassle
podcast.
of Hair podcast.
Episode 59 is where you will get to see Jim talk about his experience. And it's just such a great story. And I'm hoping that we made him proud. And he really is such a sweet guy. And he just told me, messaging back and forth, that he just hopes that his story will help at least one person. And
wow.
I thought that was so nice. And he has a great support system, his wife, Tina, and, a support system is so helpful to adoptees.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And it's not even something you seek or find.
Mm-hmm.
Like you just, we're accidental. So if you found this podcast, we hope that this is a support for you.
Right. And we're all so different, and everybody's experience is so different. And since we started this venture back in, our first podcast was only back in September, but since we started that, I've made some connections with people who have very different viewpoints on the process.
Right.
And we're here to embrace all of that.
Yeah,
and every viewpoint.
Absolutely. We just want people to tell their stories to raise awareness of what everyone's experienced. So, and to that end, Miss Mary.
Hello.
Let's talk about you tonight.
Yeah, I think, gosh, it's so hard to talk about myself, but it's so easy at the same time, because to me, this was an adventure in my life where I felt like if it works out to be something awesome, fabulous. If it doesn't, then no big deal. I actually had a pretty good home life growing up. I was only 25 when I started my search. So I had a lot of time to basically make the future mistakes and all of those other things that we all do. But I wanted to take the time today to talk about my non-identifying information file. And I'm only going to cover a portion of it because I think that revealing everything at once would probably take a very long time. So,
well, and from what I gather, it will be super confusing too.
Yes. My story is not just, it's not very
straightforward.
Linear. No, it's very complex.
But we're trying to tell it in a linear way.
We're very much trying, but it's kind of hard to convey that when you might not have been through the same kind of situation. But I just kind of wanted to give people an idea of what I received in the mail after I requested that initial file.
So read what you want to read.
Okay. So
from that file.
So first of all, when I got that envelope in my mailbox, I lived in an apartment building that required you to drive up to your mailbox, then drive around to the back of the building, park in your assigned carport, and then go into your apartment. And I'm thinking, can I last that long to open this thing?
Oh my God. Yeah. I would have been opening it with my teeth.
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah. So I rushed inside and opened this thing. And the first thing I saw was a letter on top from the family services in my hometown. And it says, encloses the information that you requested. As you can read, the original narrative and case study was conducted in 1966. There was no additional information except for the newborn exam when your birth mother came in 1973. Now, just a recap.
What year were you born?
I was born in 73.
Okay.
So the narrative that I'm going to start covering was in 1966, not in 73. So when I saw this, I went, did they send me the wrong file? I had so many questions, like,
Right.
Where's my stuff?
But 73 did resonate.
Yes.
So, okay.
So,
Keep reading.
It was crazy. 2 different years. The letter just says, this probably leads to some other questions.
Do you think?
Hello. But there's nothing I can answer. I hope this helps. Please, if I can be of additional service, and then it's signed by the sender. So
okay. And right now, I'm thinking they were really trying to tip you off.
I think they were going, maybe you should think about investigating this a little bit, because you clearly have some other questions about where you come from, but here's what we have.
Okay.
So what continues is a 3-page narrative, and they have it broken down into different categories. And today I'm only going to talk about page 1 of this narrative. The first part is titled The Referral. And then it gives a date of April 28th, 1966.
Okay.
So I start reading.
Not anywhere close to the date you were born, but let's read.
Yeah. So instantly confused upon first read in 1999 when I got this. So it says, I met Miss R, and they blocked out the rest of her name, for the first time through an introduction by Mrs. Spiegel, a social worker at a certain hospital. The meeting had been previously arranged for us, inasmuch as the client is a Catholic unwed mother looking for adoptive placement for her child. And we, as an agency, have been looking for a Catholic child available for adoption, which might match a child placed in the, and then this is blocked off, something home. So to me, that was like a flag. Okay, a last name. Someone's looking for a Catholic child.
Someone's looking for a Catholic child.
There you go. Okay.
And you know what? It's just a baby at this point. Does it know it's Catholic?
Right.
And I'm just saying.
Right. And I'm going, okay, well, I don't know what to think here. So the paragraph ends with, I immediately recognized Mrs. Spiegel's astute judgment in making this particular referral for the purposes of matching children. So when I read this, I went, okay, let me look up a few of these words in the dictionary, because what? I'm going, okay, they're trying to match children with the same faith for a home. So that instantly was like, okay, this is a little odd, but it's very detailed. So the next section, it talks about the client. So this would be the biological mother.
The mom.
Yeah,
this is good stuff.
Yeah, this is the dirt. I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's more soap opera as it goes on, but here's the initial description of her. They blocked off her name. Blank is of German extraction and was born in the year 1939 in such and such town. She is 5'6" tall and has a normal weight of 125 pounds. Now, instantly I went, 125 pounds.
I know. I'm raising my eyebrow at that one too.
You're pregnant and you're 125 pounds.
Right.
Are you normally? And even when I'm reading this, I'm in 1999, I'm thinking, I was about 125 pounds back then, but I'm certainly not that weight anymore. And that's
pretty slim.
That's a small.
That's slim, and she's pretty close to term at this point.
Right.
From what I gather.
Yeah.
From what you told me before. So here she is, kind of as far as a woman who's pregnant.
Mm-hmm.